Bodies by Farny.
Anybody else would like to share?
It's relaxing.
Yeah, and that was only maybe 3 minutes. So that's how powerful your just natural breathing. So you've been breathing, we've been breathing our whole entire life. It's just a lot of times we don't put our focus on it because when we do get stressed, one thing that does increase is our breath rate. So when you do find yourself getting in a stressful response, just no one's going to know you're taking a deep or just following your own natural breath timing. And if you find yourself in that kind of stressful response, do you see how that could help you manage some of the things that may come up during your day? You may want to take a nap afterwards, but okay. Yeah.
Could you explain again the reasoning why the men had left hand over the right?
It's a polarity. It's a polarity, energetic Eastern culture thing, because left side of the body in a lot of Eastern cultures or energetic healing arts, left side is known as the feminine side, right side is known as the masculine side, and so and also Jeff Primack, who created the certifications that I went through, this is just one of his techniques that he teaches, so it's also part of that, but it's a polarity aspect.
Almost like yin and yang type idea?
Yeah, totally. So, any questions about that or anything else? Because what I also want to do is do that, but I also want to have you experience it without music, because music can be a great thing, but it also can be very distracting, and so without music, silent meditation. I just got back a couple weeks ago from a Vipassana retreat, and if some of you are not familiar with that, that's an ancient practice that's said to go back to the Buddha, that he created to help with liberating the mind and suffering, because one of the things that can cause a lot of suffering and misery in our lives is our own mind. And sometimes when we're in silence, all we have is our mind that can be very active. And so I just want to, are you willing to try just for a few minutes of silent meditation and just see, because I'd also just like you to experience the difference, because music, I used to be a big believer in always having music in my meditations, and after this I still enjoy music when it's needed, but also the silence of really delving into the mind, because it's a whole other type of practice. So you're ready, let's just come to the edge of the chair again. Okay, thank you.
I feel like I was able to feel my body more with the silence, but I was also concentrating on the birds and the noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the natural music. Yeah, awesome.
I kind of like the music better, honestly. I feel like I have a pretty musical mind, and it's like I can get lost in that super relaxation, trance type music like that was playing, but I enjoyed both of them.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, just to show you there's many different doorways, many different paths to meditation. So I just wanted y'all to experience that, and also the silent version.
Trying to thoughts entering my mind and trying to get away, go away.
Yeah.
That's our experience too.
I don't know. I agree with you. The music is I kind of got lost in the music. The silence is just like thoughts kept getting in there.
Yeah, just a suggestion is just to be mindful of with music, it has a place, and it's like anything in life, we just have to be careful about things that can cause, as what you're talking about, are aversions. Because as when we are silent, it's like in prayer, it says to go in a room and, pray. The only thing that's there is you and your mind, and so that's when a lot of things can come to the surface, and that's actually your body's way of actually trying to bring those things to the surface, so then your body can actually heal from it. So if that's a natural response, is when things start to enter the mind. We can talk more about it later if you like, just in more depth for you specifically, but that's when certain sensations can come up sometimes during meditation or yoga. If you've ever had emotions or past traumas come up, that's the body's own natural healing system, that because we're not like the impala or the antelope that gets stored in our tissues, and so some of you may have experienced some of those sensations that have come up that surfacely you're aware of, or maybe even from a deep standpoint weren't aware of. Does that make sense? So
I want to share having been at the original Qigong for me, and I've always always done different meditations, but I can appreciate what everyone has shared because I love the music part of the meditation and how I've been able to just work on myself. Having the music was a way for me to be able to feel my body. So having the experience today of being able to have both and appreciate, oh, I really enjoyed it because it allowed me for the second part to instantly hear all the external traffic noise and immediately come to the birds, which then brought it right into myself. So it's knowing that where you are, things do evolve and change, and it was really nice to have that reminder of, you know, when you need music, you utilize it, but not to rely on it like, you know, hey, I'm always going to sit on a chair. I can sit on the floor. I can stand. So just incorporating that whole piece. So, you know, it's nice to hear, you know, we all experience similar but yet different with breath work.
And I think too, being a neophyte at this too, is you're not, you know, maybe those thoughts that are coming into my mind are things that should be.
But
I'm not trained enough to recognize that. So more initially it seemed like a distraction.
Well, one thing we actually learn through meditation, and actually there's many, like I said, many different paths, and I'm not authorized to teach Vipassana, but just to share one thing you learn through that kind of meditation is you learn how to let go of attachments or things, those sensations that come up. We have a tendency to be, we always say I, me, myself, or we put it on other people, you, yourself. And so the idea is you are living a monastic lifestyle for 10 days, so you know that whole lifestyle is all about non-self, but what you're talking about is attachments that we put on certain sensations, and that also causes suffering, and that can cause, you know, misery in our lives. And that's where that, you know, this kind of meditation, even though I'm not teaching you Anapana, which is partly what they teach in Vipassana, you learn how to, with practice, like I said, it's not being a neophyte or not having the knowledge. You have the knowledge within you, it's just cultivating it. So you have it within you. And that's also another thing is it's hard for us to do because we can all be competitive at times, and we all tend to compare ourselves to other people's experiences, like, well, why didn't I experience that, or, you know. And that's also just another example of just try to be within yourself with what you experience and not compare yourself to anybody, whether it's yoga or qigong or, you know, personal training or, you know, anything in life. Is when we can just be who we are, a lot like what you're even just initially experiencing. You're experiencing what you're supposed to be experiencing. So your body knows. You have the wisdom, just now cultivating it. So, what did y'all think of that? Yep. All right. Well, we could take a short break if you want, or I can go right into just showing y'all a little bit of qigong. What would y'all like to do?
Qigong.
Qigong.
All right.